Okay. Any more kids? I think all the kids came to the party last night and are sleeping in today. Go figure. Not all the kids, but all the kids I saw last night. Well, you're here. Bravo. And you're here. Thank you. Anyway, so we've been talking about what? Judges, right. And we last talked about Gideon, right? And Gideon, he had only 300 men, and with them, God used him to deliver the Israelites from the bad guys, right? So any idea who the next judge is? Anybody remember? Not Samuel. We're not to Samuel yet. We're actually going to skip one, Jephthah. You can read his story if you want. And we're going to go right ahead to Samson. Anybody know who Samson is? Who knows the story of Samson? Show me your hands. Okay, well, we're going to actually take a few weeks for this because Samson is kind of the last judge we talk about until we get to Samuel, which is in a different book. But you've seen how each judge gets more and more help from God and less help from anybody else because God is trying to teach his people that they only need him. Well, Samson is the one who does everything he does only by himself. And what we'll see is he still misses the point, and he thinks it's because of him. But here's the story. It starts with a certain man whose name was Manoah, and his wife had not had any children, so they were sad. And it says the angel of the Lord appeared to the woman, and he said to her, guess what? I know that you don't have any children, but you are going to have a son. So, you be careful, because this son of yours, he's set apart. He's different. So, I don't want you to cut his hair, ever. And I don't want you to drink wine, and don't touch any unclean thing, because this child is dedicated to God from his birth, and he will deliver the children of Israel from the Philistines. So he's telling the mother, even before she's pregnant, he says, you have to be careful, because this baby is going to be special, right? Nope, it's a different lady. It's not Mary. It's a good question. It's a long time before Mary. Good questions, though. So, nope, it's not Jesus. It's not Jesus. His name is going to be Samson, the little boy. But he's not born yet. So, the woman goes and she talks to her husband and says, so I think I saw an angel. And the husband says, well, how shall we be sure? He says, let's pray to God and ask him to send the angel again to give us a sign, to prove to us that this is right. Because otherwise, we don't want to change how we're doing things for no good reason. So God listens to the man, whose name is Manoah, and the angel of God comes again to the woman as she's sitting in the field, but her husband isn't with her. So she says, would you wait here, please? I want to go get my husband. And he says, okay, fine, I'll wait. So she runs and gets her husband, and they go together into the field, and he says to the angel, are you the guy who came and talked to my wife before? And he says, yes, I am. And he says, I hope that what you said will happen, because it will be wonderful to have a son. But what are we going to do for the child? What should we do? I think he maybe didn't believe his wife. It's not a good thing, but it happened. So he wants to hear from the angel himself. And the angel says again, don't touch anything unclean, don't drink any wine or strong drink, and don't cut the baby's hair. And the man says, okay, got it. I heard it from your own mouth. I believe you. He says, but don't leave. We're going to make a sacrifice for you. And the angel says, I'll wait, but I'm not going to eat of the sacrifice. But if you want to offer it, you have to offer it to the Lord, not to me. So the angel is making very clear, I'm not God. Offer the sacrifice to God only. And then he says to the angel, what's your name? And he says, I can't tell you my name. It's a secret. And Manoah says, okay, fine. So he offers a sacrifice, and then he sees a miracle, because when the fire goes up, the angel went up in the fire. And they said, what are we going to do? We've seen an angel. This is a miracle. We can't do anything. God's going to kill us. And his wife says to him, don't be an idiot. If he was going to kill us, he would have already done that. Let's just do what he said, and we'll see what happens. Right? So that's the story. It kind of has all sorts of strange little pieces in it, but we see when people see an angel, they're a little bit doubtful. They want to make sure that it's right, so they ask for a repetition. This is kind of like Gideon asking for the miracle, you remember? And then they get a miracle too. They see the man, who looks like a man, who's an angel. He goes up in the fire, but he's telling them, you're going to have a baby, and he has to be careful because he has to live only for me. So he has to do these things. No drinking, no touching unclean things, and no haircuts. Fair enough? And he's a guy, so we're going to have a man with long hair. But we'll see more about what happens with Samson next week when he's born. Sound good? So for now, stand up. Let's make a line and have communion. Metaphor theopis tios ki agapis prosertite, with the fear of God, with faith and with love, draw